Nobody does anything great alone. Leaders cannot succeed alone. John Maxwell says this: a leader's potential is determined by those closest to him. What makes the difference is the leader's inner circle. Welcome to the Victory Leadership Podcast. Well, welcome back to the Leadership Podcast. It has been a quick minute since we have done one of these leadership podcasts, but our goal for this year is to drop one leadership podcast a month, whether it's for me or one of the other team members or Pastor Jody. We're really excited about leadership because as a Christian, we are called to be ambassadors to this world. We're supposed to influence the world for the gospel. In order to do that, we got to grow our influence. We got to grow our leadership. Today, we're going to be talking about the inner circle. Who are you hanging out with? To start this, I want to tell you about a new hobby I have. I am a man of many hobbies, and my wife last year was training for a half Ironman, and I decided one day I was going to jump on a bike, a borrowed bike, and go ride with her. Well, I fell in love with cycling. I was going to buy a bike in 2020, but then COVID hit, and we all know how that turned out. But this year I said, I'm 38. It's time to get back in shape, if I ever was in shape. But it's time to start doing something that I enjoy. And so I bought a bike. I bought a really good bike, and I started cycling. But anything I do, I go all in. And I research and I find out, because I don't want to show up and be the new guy, the newbie that no one knows or that doesn't know anything about the sport. So I start researching. Well, in my research, I came across this fella named Justin Williams from Los Angeles. Justin Williams is a 2018, 2019 amateur criterium racing. Criterium cycling racing is a short track. It's lap driven. Sometimes it's 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and an hour and a half. But these guys are just pedaling so fast, put out so much power, going 25, 30, 35, sometimes 40 miles per hour in these laps. And it's very fast, tight racing. Well, I came across Justin Williams, who is the champion. And in 2019, he created a team out of Los Angeles called Legion. This team is dominating. I never thought I would be the person that would study about cycling and racing. I'm so amazed. And here's why. Justin Williams may be the strongest sprinter when it comes to cycling. He wins a lot. But when they interview him and he talks about, I can't do this without my team. Because his brother Corey is a strong puller. The other team, they pull him around the track until the last lap, until the last straightaway, and then Justin breaks off. He breaks out and he sprints and they get the win. But this is what a member of Legion said. Every member of the team understands what the mission is, what their job is, and that they all need each other to win, since what they are doing as a team is way bigger than any individual success. Imagine for a moment if your team, your coworkers thought like that. See, we live in that dog-eat-dog world. It's all about me. I'm going to get to the top, and I will stab as many people in the back to get there, because we're all selfish. But imagine putting the team first and what could happen. In fact, if you research the team Legion, they talk about whose turn is it to win, who's going to pull this lap, who's going to do this lap, and they all work together for the team success, because as the team gets bigger and the team grows, the individuals will grow as well. Well, you might say, well, of course, cycling is a team sport. We watch the Tour de France. We know it takes a team. You got to draft. But I would say this, any endeavor, any sport, it takes a team. What about swimming, Brady? Well, Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps gets the glory, gets the gold medals. It's him by himself in the pool. But behind the scenes, there's a health coach, there's a strength coach, there's a nutritionist. He has a team around him, and he would not go far if he had a bad team. Golf, they got a caddy, they got a swing coach, and they got mental coaches. They have an inner circle. Almost everything that you can think of when it comes to sports, there's always parents, there's always coaches, there's mentors, there's even YouTube resource videos that could be one of your coaches. We need a strong inner circle around us to succeed. The better the inner circle, the better the resource, the farther you will go. See, in the 80s, the buzzword was management. There was books about being a great manager. There was movies about management. But then in the 90s, the buzzword switched, and it went from managing kind of became like a cuss word, and then it was all about leadership. John Maxwell started writing books on leadership. Jim Collins wrote Good to Great. There's tons of books about leadership that just came out in the 90s, and this really helped the church world and the business world as well. So leadership was all where it was at that time. Then now in the 21st century, especially now, there's books about team leadership, about it takes the team, it takes a village, you may have heard. Mother Teresa said this, you can do what I cannot do. I can do what you can't do, but together we can do great things. Let me read that again. Mother Teresa, you can do what I cannot do. I can do what you can't do, but together we can do great things. And that's true. I can do some stuff well. You can do some stuff well. If we combine that together for one single goal, that the company, the team will succeed, we will accomplish a lot more together than we can apart. And that is what the inner circle is all about, is putting people together that we all have one goal in mind. Leadership expert Warren Benise, he says this, the leader finds greatness in the group, and he or she helps the members find it in themselves. So a great leader, we have a strong inner circle, and we're finding success. We find greatness in the group, but then we help members find it in themselves, The hero complex, the Lone Ranger mentality, the hero complex is something that I've struggled with, is I can do anything. I'll figure it out. I don't need anybody else. Or the Lone Ranger, where he comes into town with his mask on, saving the town, just him and his horse. It's not true. It's not a true statement. And here's why. We're leaders. If you're a Lone Ranger, it means that you're doing it alone and you're not bringing anybody with you, which means you're not a leader. You're just doing it by yourself. So we got to get rid of those mentalities. To soar as high as you can, you need a strong inner circle. Who is your inner circle? Who are you hanging out with? I used to say this when I was youth pastor. I used to tell the youth, show me your friends and I'll tell you your future. I can tell where you're going with your life by who you hang out with. So here are 3 things about the inner circle that I want you to think about. Be intentional with who you let in. Who are you letting speak into your life? And this goes with books and movies as well. What and who are you letting into your inner circle? Number 2, do those people who you let in have high influence with others? If they don't, chances are they're not going to help you have influence with others. And number 3, this is important for me. Do they share the same morals and values as you? Because these people are going to be helping impart into you to help you grow. Do they have the same morals? So remember these 3 things. Be intentional with who you let in. Do they have high influence with others? And do they share the same values and morals as you? Those are just 3 things to ask about the inner circle. Inner circle is so important. But I want to end with this. This is not just an inner circle for you, but are you part of somebody's inner circle? See, our goal is to be poured into, and then we pour out to others. We pour into, pour out to others. Pour into, pour out to others, over and over. I have an inner circle, but guess what? I'm also the inner circle for somebody else. I'm always, the Christian word that we use is disciple. The world term is mentor. Are you being a mentor to somebody? Are you helping somebody accomplish their goals, their vision? If not, if no one's asked you to be part of their inner circle, check your influence level. Or maybe check and see if you're approachable. So this law of the inner circle goes both ways, but it is one of the most important laws of leadership that you can learn. Who is your inner circle? If you don't have somebody, get with one person, get with 2, get with one of your leaders, get with a pastor, get with somebody who you respect. Start reading a book. That's the best way. Read a book and start learning from somebody else. Again, find some people, surround yourself with greatness, and you will accomplish great things in this life. If you have any questions, please hit me up on email or call the church office and we can help you with that. Can't wait for the next episode. Hope you enjoy, and we will see you on the next one.